Hello, welcome to Technology Glitch Central here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. Uh, my Bluetooth has completely stopped working on my computer. I've restarted and rolled back and nothing. Zippo. Zilch. Zilch. So anyway, we're hoping that the sound's okay. But I'm having to listen through the actual computer on the audio. So we're hoping that you and I don't get feedback. Fingers. So far, so good. But anyway, hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. And it is my staycation, so we are blessed, and I mean blessed, with Miss Sarah all week.
Yes, thank you. If this is your first time here for staycation, I'm not replacing Autumn. No one could do that. I'm not filling in for Autumn. I'm just here to assist all week. So, because somebody put in chat that they thought that I was filling in for you this week, and I was like, oh no, that's not what staycation is. I'm just here to have it help with the fun this week.
Yeah. And so I'm able. Thank you for letting us know about the sound. No, Sarah's on extra duty this week, so she's coming on with me. We can talk about the stories. She organizes the questions for me, and it's just so much better whenever Sarah. Everything's better when Sarah's around.
Aww.
So, yeah, and then in the afternoon she does more. Basically all of the heavy lifting on creative sprints. So, she's giving me the opportunity this week to. Joyce Matthews says, "Now I want to see Sarah read the cards." Yeah, I've got. My staycation is cleaning and organizing. I mean, I literally just made some kind of little map. It's hard to see, but this little map in my notebook of the different areas, and I'm trying to figure out like what day I'm going to assign to what area because there's so much that's Anyway, but we have got I've got cards. Sarah has questions.
Yes.
And we've got covers through the 25th? 25th. Okay, we've got covers on Black and Orange to the 25th. We've got some nice backgrounds for this week.
Some even Travis looks like he's just hanging out with us this week. It's fabulous.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the impasse. Sarah's like Coke. Everything's better with Sarah. It is.
Thank you. I'm not. I don't always wear nails like Autumn. So, but one thing that I want to show off today. Look at these earrings, meowdy. I was like,
oh my God. No. Show. It was kind of hard to see.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Meowdy. I saw those. I was like, oh, those are mine. Those are mine. It's cats and redneckery. And how can I not?
Okay. I know you're Southern, but you're not a redneck.
By choice. I mean, it's bred in me. Half of my genetics are like, yee. But, I try to. I really work hard to dial that back.
You are... Okay, you were broken up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now it's back. Okay, I was just assuming it was my internet. Because my computer, But anyway, you were saying, I'm so sorry.
No, I was saying that I really have to work hard on the redneck part of my DNA, not to let that burst forth.
Okay.
So
all right.
Is my sound breaking up for anyone else?
Yeah. Who's one of us is having troubles, and it's probably me. And I agree, Glenn. Country does not necessarily mean redneck. No, not at all.
Okay, so my sound's not messing up.
Okay. No. All right. Well, I guess we're good now. We're
Okay.
going to roll with it.
Okay.
So speaking of redneck.
All right, y'all. At 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Lauren and Jayson Boebert are part of an active domestic violence investigation in their hometown. He claims last night she hit him in the face while they were at a local restaurant. She says it's self-defense. As of right now, there's no video that has been made public. So will this further damage her career?
Oh boy. Valerie Sargent says she's done time in the Piggly Wiggly. I've done time there was a Piggly Wiggly when I was in Baton Rouge. Right down the street there was a Piggly Wiggly. I have done time in the Piggly Wiggly. All right. So what happened? What was the...
So Lauren's rep this morning says that yesterday evening she went to go pick up one of her sons from Jayson's. And Jayson was being a snot and just a nasty person, which he is in general.
Yes.
So Lauren left and took said son to her mom's house, which is what was supposed to happen. She was supposed to pick him up and take him to grandma's. So Jayson called to apologize after the kiddo was dropped off and wanted to meet up to talk, to apologize further. And now this is what Lauren's aide has said. This is in the interview they have given this morning. Allegedly, Lauren was like, well, okay, but it's going to have to be somewhere public because you're in a mood and I'm not going to be anywhere private with you right now. I'm just not. Ironically, there's only one real restaurant left in their small town since Shooters closed. So they went to the one restaurant in town and sat down, and she says at some point he went to make a grab for her, like he reached for her, and it was not in an affectionate, loving way. And so she smacked him in the nose to get him off. So I feel for her. If this is how it all went down, like I really feel for her. But the thing is in between this and Beetlejuice and everything else,
right,
and the jumping of the districts, it's not looking good for her, especially if there is a video, because Lauren's team has proven that we're going to lie until a video says otherwise, like they did with Beetlejuice. So could this be how it went down? Absolutely. I would believe it because Jayson is for entertainment only. He seems like not the nicest person. But either way, it doesn't look good for her. So how is this going to play out?
Okay. I want to say this for the record. This is hard for both of us to talk about, and both of us for me to read on. There was a point in my life when I was in a relationship with a man, and he was, we were having an argument, and I backed up until I was backed up against like the bathroom sink, and it just got closer, and I reached out and just pushed in the center of his chest, like, and to this day he swears that I hit him. You know me, super violent me.
Violent,
so this is hard. This is a hard one. she's not in a good place. She was always less effective than Marge.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, I don't think Boebert's husband would risk going after Marge.
Good God, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, she's in a bad spot.
Yeah.
You don't need me to tell you that the marriage is not good.
Oh, no.
The divorce.
Yeah.
The relationship, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Glenna Miles is saying, I'm surprised she didn't take a gun with her. She probably did have one. So it's good that she didn't pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is my guess. I don't know. Welcome to the patriarchy that she is supporting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She is really hoping that she has found her way to a better life, but it's really not going to work. And she's going to be out of her cushy job. She's going to be still have to co-parent with Mr. Toxicity. She's not going to come to a good end. She's just not. She'll get better. Isn't that? Oh, Dave, you're very sweet, but I would never hit you. I only it's self-defense, but other than that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do want to make that perfectly clear. If anybody's thinking about breaking into my house or something like that, oh no. No. There's still a Scorpio tail. But
only bring it out when needed.
Yes. Self-defense is self-defense.
Yes, it is.
Just want to mention that because I have been stalked multiple times. Okay.
Let's get out of this energy unless you wanted to keep reading on it.
I just wanted to see, is this one going to end up in jail?
I do know that as far as last night, the cops came, they talked to everybody, and they didn't arrest either one of them.
Oh, no. I meant J6. I mean...
Oh, overall. Yeah.
Later on, her not handling the changes in her life well, because there's a lot of desperation coming, and for all her support of Dumpy and the traitors, she's really not in a position to pay for lawyers to. Yeah, this is something she should have kept out of. Seriously, should have kept out of, because it's the men in the Republican Party who are still in office who are the ones who are going to be just fine, and why should they help her? And even they're going to be upset. So, yeah, this is... I feel really bad for any woman in this situation. I really do. And actually, frankly, I know, like, every once in a while there are men who are in this situation, and I feel bad for them. But then I remember she's a traitor. And it's like, okay. We all make mistakes. We all choose bad people to be in relationships with at some point, but no, you don't betray your country. You don't try to destroy our democracy. That's a whole other level. So sorry, you did that to yourself. Now this thing with your husband, is he going to end up in prison at some point? Because this is not going well.
No. We're talking about Boebert, Janelle. I will say that it was mighty smart of her, if that's how it all went down, to demand that the meeting be in public.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I agree, Joe Eliza. She had an opportunity to better herself, and she blew it. Yeah, do not be around him anymore. Get the court involved. Get the court involved. He's going to do it again. Entertainment only YouTube, but what I am getting, for what it is worth, you need to get the courts involved.
Yeah.
There's no unsupervised anything. It's so hard in that situation to find your inner strength, but she needs it. He thinks that she got uppity, and he also got super jealous, and it made him feel less than. Tiny ego. When in reality, she didn't have that much power. But he has anger issues.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to have problems. And it could be a court, but that's an institution. The drama is not, it's just not done. And it's like, oh, things could change. Higher wisdom. No higher wisdom. Until she chooses higher wisdom. Yeah, that's just, okay. On the wife mother side, my heart goes out to her completely. On the politician American, tell me what a patriot you are, get stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pre-apologize, everybody, because the energy doesn't get much better for a little bit. So,
we're here to go through the news together.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier than just reading this stuff yourself.
Yes. At 17:30, Representative Elise Stefanik from New York. Is it Stefanik or Stefanik or?
I've heard Stefanik, but
okay.
I don't know.
She went on Meet the Press this morning, where she referred to the 1,100 plus J6ers as political hostages. This, of course, aligns with recent Trump speeches where he demands Biden release the hostages that have suffered enough. The question is, will people outside of diehard MAGAs actually believe this?
Janelle Espinosa says Stephanie's gone full Q.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess she's a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Tigress of Forley says Boebert's kids have internalized all of that and will have similar relationships in the future. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's more likely, but they can choose not to.
Well, if they'll either, it's going to be one or the other. There's not going to be a medium with that. I mean, when you're a child of abuse, it either you firmly decide that the cycle stops here or you perpetuate the cycle. So, unfortunately. So, hopefully, yeah.
She's just trying to raise money.
Oh, Stefanik?
Yeah, Stefanik. Is her polling not going so well? Or maybe just the polling overall for Republicans isn't going so well. It looks like she has, like you said, she's gone full cute. She bought into the lies. And woe is her, but she's after the money. And so she's trying to rile up the MAGAs who she thinks are, because their thinking on that side is the angrier you make people, the more money they give you, the more upset.
Yeah.
And that's what she's going for. But right in the center of it, it's about the money.
Of course.
As far as anybody else believing this garbage, because I was asking about that and they just told me about her.
And Gina, that's exactly right. It is vile comparing insurrectionists to hostages. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what's going to be remembered is what comes out in the courts. They can spin whatever they want to now.
Mm-hmm.
But they will be remembered as insurrectionists. The people who took part in this and the people who enabled it. That's a card for the reading. She does not have much power. It just doesn't. That's weak. That's weakness. What people are going to remember is what was found out in the courts with evidence and the burden, incredible burden of the far right garbage. So, no.
Okay.
It won't last. If there are some people now, they're trust me, this is not something. If it was true, if their great grandkids would believe.
You're breaking up.
No.
You're breaking up for just a second. Wait, there you go. There you go. Last I clearly heard was if this is true, and then you broke up.
Okay, sorry, I lost internet for a second. I was going to say if this is something that was true, these people would believe it now. Their children would believe it. Their grandchildren believe it. Their great grandchildren would believe it. And no, that's not what's going to happen. So
very cool.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm going to have to do a what do you call it? Restore point. I'm gonna have to use a restore point or something, and I would have done that, but I ran out of time, I'm afraid. So
it's okay. We're gonna make it through.
All
right. Now this one's a giggler. So
yeah,
22:45. Y'all, the caucasity of this one. That's just so. Jacob Chansley, the QAnon Shaman, would like the FBI to return his horns, please, and thank you.
No. In the same way that you there are certain places in the world you can't trade in not C memorabilia. Yeah, you don't. This jerk does not. He doesn't get his traderabilia back.
Right.
No.
So yeah, will he ever get them back is the question.
Depends on the judge.
C. Torino says he can sit on them.
Okay. I know this isn't going to come as a shock to you, but all I was asking was, is he going to get the stupid helmet back? Is Brunhilde going to get the horns back? Right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I put this? Card for the reading. He is Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean Looney Tunes. This is the it's almost like, I don't know, I'm just getting this weird mental image, like he floats and then every once in a while his foot will touch the ground and then he's floating again in unreality. This is where his foot, where it's like, all right, you filled out the paperwork to get your, to get the evidence, but he can't stay. This is a brief brief moment, but and I don't have anything, I do not stigmatize anybody for mental health issues. I mean,
right, no.
I don't, I've been very open about my depression and about my PTSD and, but Julie Wisconsin says he dishonored the bison. Well, yeah.
Roxanne Elise says, doesn't he just shed them and grow another pair?
I did get the devil card. If he doesn't get them back, he's going to try to. It feels like he's hit upon this as a money-making scheme. So if he doesn't get this back, he's trying to get this back, but he's also going to try to turn that fame into write his autobiography, or create a book, create a podcast, create I don't know what, but he's trying to find a way to monetize this. So he's trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, but it very much is insult to injury. And it depends who we're talking about. If it's a local person, if it was like a local judge, you'd probably get it back, unfortunately. But I'm thinking if this is DOJ related, I'm thinking they're going to be like, no.
Oh, please let him ask Chutkin for his horns.
Please. Oh, please.
Oh, please, ma'am, can you spare a crumb? Just my horns.
Please, ma'am, give me my horns back.
Lord help.
Faye's asking, what will he do with them in jail? I thought he was out.
He is out.
Yeah, I thought
he's running for office in Arizona.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, don't Knight of Pentacles. You are a laughingstock. I wonder why.
Well, at some point, they're going to end up making an exhibit of what happened at J6 at like the Smithsonian or something. There will be some sort of museum thing. It probably should go there.
I forgot to get my little reindeer horn clips. I should have worn them. They're about this big. I should have.
Well, the next time this idiot comes up and
remember that.
We'll remember that.
Oh, an opportunity wasted.
Yeah.
Ooh, Linda H. says police were called on him for threats to neighbors. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Giovanni plans to wear them in Congress.
Lordy help. All right. Well.
Oh, wait. Salty Ship says, I'm surprised there's no marketplace for Traderbelia. Oh, yes, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, oh, yes, there is.
Yuckadoo. Well, speaking of traitors, at 29 even, Josh Hawley was apparently the only member of the Senator Congress who came outside on January 6th and offered any kind of solidarity to the insurrectionists. You know, the famous fist photo. How deep is Hawley in traitorous waters, and will he be accountable if he is?
I read this article, and something just popped up on my computer. Go away. Okay. I read this article, and there was and this is not just okay. So there was a photographer who was specifically keeping an eye out for. He couldn't get. There were still COVID restrictions going on, so the photographer couldn't get into the Capitol building. So he was outside, but he's a photographer, so he was keeping his eyes specifically peeled for any lawmakers or anything like that. Number one, he said that the people at that point, because the rally, Dumpy's rally was still going on, the people who were gathered outside the Capitol building were really quiet. Like, it was dead. There was not much going on. It's not like there was a group there chanting and all this kind of stuff. And now he says, he could be wrong. There could have been somebody else, but the only lawmaker I saw who came outside, all the rest of them went from the north side of the building in the center to the south side of the building where the house is. All of them went internally. Mm-hmm. But Hawley, Speedy Hawley specifically, went outside to get to the south side of the building. And while he was doing that, he was giving his thumbs up. There was another picture released just before, or around the time he was giving the stupid, I'm a rockhead. I'm dumb as a rock. Yeah. So how deep is he in traitorous waters? Lisa Graham's asking if it was a signal. I think it was just support, but I could be wrong. I mean, let me see Hawley. What's going to happen to him? Elizabeth B says Hawley's nothing but a lowlife. Yes, agreed. He's not even nice. I mean, I'll say this about Chris Christie. At least Janice can at least show a nice face sometimes.
Yeah, he can pretend to have empathy.
Mm-hmm. The word I'm getting is teetering. There's evidence. There's stuff coming out. Now, I don't know if Jack Smith's people are leaking or the people they're talking to are leaking, but there's more coming out. Jack Smith is getting access to a lot of stuff the January 6th committee did not.
Yeah.
Who was talking to whom, what happened where. Evidence. Holy buckets. Trump had to walk away because he lost the vote. Hawley took an oath of office. Knight of Cups. Investigators. People, I don't know, fighting for democracy. Now here's a Magician, but here's a Two of Pentacles. So, trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, but it's shaky. Trouble's coming for him. Legal trouble is coming for him. And even though it's a knight, and it's like, well, okay, it's not quite the king, but a knight is still very active, but the card for the reading is evidence. And it's not just evidence, gathering evidence, it's evidence really, really well organized. Normally, this is the guy who sits in the middle, and you've got that rounded table of cups behind him in a row. The merchant card is just laid out just so. That's my card of evidence. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. And here's the paperwork, and here's the photos of where it was found. And, yeah. M. Kelpie says Navarro said there were 147 traitors in Congress. It's kind of scary, but I don't doubt it.
Joy. Well,
Susie Ryder says Hawley's local paper has blasted him.
You sleep with dogs, you get fleas. So
T. Jones is saying he was running down the Hawley to get to Trader Stadium. I like that.
Yes, Lois McDonald, karma is patient. And Katie, of course, quoted the song that I sing whenever you and I are talking about Josh Hawley, But speaking of traitors, at 3510. Just take a second.
Okay.
This irritates the ever-loving fluffernutter out of me.
All right, I'm have to break out more of the candy cane.
Mm-hmm. So, Trump says he feels that the Civil War could have been negotiated. He also says that he believed Abraham Lincoln could have done more to avoid the violence. So,
I'm sorry.
mhm. The Civil War could have been negotiated.
By giving the South everything they wanted.
Mhm. And that Abraham Lincoln could have done more to avoid violence.
Look,
So
I know.
Go ahead.
I know we've had some good presidents, and I don't mean to shortchange anybody.
Right.
But in my view of American history, the three greatest presidents, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Barack Obama. And the reason for all of George Washington's failings, slavery, the reason he's at number one is because he gave up power at the end of his term. And that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that he was the general who won the Revolutionary War for us.
Mm-hmm.
Without George Washington, there's no U.S. Zircon, I know FDR is great. I'd put him at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'd put him at number 4, personally.
So, what's it going to take for people to stop listening to this man?
I don't know. Oh, Biden's great. Absolutely.
Core, there's some different parts, different sources of historical documents sort of argue about the entirety of that. Did he free some slaves? Yes. Washington did free some slaves. Did he free all of them? And even then, it was only after his death.
Yeah. My understanding is he freed his slaves after his death.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was one that he that was able to escape him, and it chafed his goodies, and he hunted her. He had people hunt her for years. There was a whole episode on Missed in History about it. Like, it's documented. Yeah. But there was one woman that was able to get away because she was pregnant and didn't want to have her child born into slavery and was able to escape. And he... So...
Yeah. No, I'm saying, look, I know he had problems. I know these are big problems.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, without George Washington, if you go into the American Revolution history in the beginning of the United States and you take out George Washington, I don't know that there's an us.
People in history get very complicated because there's nobody that's all good or all bad. But yeah, there's degrees of the more you delve in history, it gets very, very messy.
Yeah.
So,
but Trump saying that Abraham Lincoln, Trump, he and his father were taken to court and found guilty of discriminatory renting practices. He's a scumbag on his way down. Devil's behind that. He's burdened. He's scared. I'm getting scared. He's trying to con people out of money. He knows Biden's going to win. In his heart of hearts, he knows Biden's going to win. If he doesn't do something extraordinary and probably illegal, entertainment on YouTube, but if he doesn't do something extraordinary and probably illegal, Biden's going to win. And he's going to have even more charges against him. So it's kind of make or break. So he's got to be telling himself all kinds of stories to keep himself getting up and going and doing all the dumb things he does.
Marion, I know you're absolutely right. Not all Southern people are rednecks. That was meant in jest. I have some proud redneckian family folks, and when I say redneck, I don't mean it in necessarily the derogatory term that it has, but just country folk. Just,
like more of a Jeff Foxworthy.
Yes. Mowed your yard and found a car type of redneckian,
silly, harmless,
silly type, going out. I mean, I'm talking like you want to know, like some redneck games on the weekends. It's when you get a bunch of grown folk with absolutely nothing to do and who all have CB radios in their cars and they play hide and seek with CB radios around town. I'm talking about that level of redneckery. I'm not talking about your, the other derogatory stuff. I'm just talking about country stuff. So, but you're absolutely right. And trust me. So, okay.
Sarah, if you can't tell from the accent, is about as Southern as you can get.
Yes.
And
okay.
And just like the English, so seriously, the English, when I went to that British school in Holland, I mean, I came back from Christmas break and I walked in and a bunch of people were standing around before we all went up to like homeroom and or whatever. And one of them turned to me and said, "Oh, it's the Yank." Well, I was a Yankee to them and I'm a Yankee to Sarah. Though, Although technically, I mean, I'm actually Midwestern, but yeah, I'm a Yank.
Yeah. Sandy, exactly. Trey Crowder has liberated me from my ignorance about country rednecks. Yes, there are quite a few liberal rednecks. I mean, it's kind of where I came from. So, yeah. Okay.
Is your family liberal?
Yes. Technically.
Okay.
I come from a line of we vote Democrat because our daddy voted Democrat and their daddy voted Democrat pre the 60s switch, but they were just too stubborn to switch with it. So they were Democrat back when Democrat was yuckadoo, but they just kind of stuck with it. So technically speaking, yes.
Are they voting for Biden?
Well, most of no. Those are like where I came from. Most of those people have died off, but the ones that are still with us, they're all very. I work very hard to at least try to guide them to. I think I've pretty much got them not voting Trump. Like, try Haley. I mean, she's not going to win, but let's look at that one. Let's look there. Like,
good for you.
I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying.
I haven't been able to convince anybody.
Well, I mean, nobody likes to waste their vote. And so just point blank explaining, even if you vote them in, there's too much going on. Something's going to stick. Something's going to stick somewhere. So whether it be Georgia or whatnot. So, I mean, you might as well, out of what's left, the only person that has any shot of anything is Haley. So ish. That was the argument I used, and they went from to so I was like, yes.
Good. Thank you for doing that.
It's a struggle.
Laura Hammond Davis says the redneck throws his beer can out of the window, whereas a hillbilly throws out of the back of the truck. And Visualize 70 says, Autumn, I thought you were going to say they were playing sardines. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what that refers to.
Well, sardines is when you got a bunch of folks crammed in somewhere. So maybe. Yeah. Okay. So and
CC Ryder had a question for you.
Oh, let's see. Does your extended family despise Trump too? Are there Biden supporters? Some. I really irritate my family because, like, I grew up and everybody was Democrats, and so now when I'm like, yeah, but y'all taught me to be this way. Like y'all said this is we vote with the unions and we vote with the thing and and so and I'm like, I'm practicing what you preached. Kind of have that same conversation about Christianity too. So, I mean,
and that is why Sarah is the definition of good people.
Thank you.
So, Raymond de Pascal has a comment that I think is maybe something I should pull 3 cards on. Raymond de Pascal said, "The Teflon is gone, Don."
Oh,
let me pull 3 cards on that.
All right.
J.M. Dave says, "Cornbillies only drive tractors." I've never heard, Laura Hammond Davis, I agree. I've never heard of cornbillies. That's great. I'd never heard of it either. That's awesome.
I would assume that would be more like Indiana type.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is the Teflon gone, Don? He's panicked. He is panicked is the energy I'm getting. This is the find out portion. The truth is not going to set him free. He is panicked, running in a panic, and desperate for money. Oh, can we take just a moment? Because I've been making notes.
Oh.
Thank you, Notion. Coming up this year, the current state of things. And I'm sure there's more, but this is what I was able to make note of. January 9th, 2 days from now, D.C. Appeals Court says they will hear the immunity appeal about the Jack Smith Judge Chutkan case and rule quickly. If they rule by February 1st, Trump has another 45 days. Normally, a defendant would have 15 days, but Trump gets 45 because it's the government bringing the case against him. Okay, so this basically could go on and on. Because if the appeal court rules against him, he has 90 days to appeal to the Supreme Court. And even if the Supreme Court doesn't take it, the case was stayed with about 4 months of work still to be done before the trial. So Trump will argue he needs at least 4 months. However, Jack Smith is trying to do some kind of get things going so that if the appeals court knocks this down, even if Trump is going for the Supreme Court, Jack Smith's going to go back to Chutkan and say, okay, whatever he's doing over there, he's doing over there. We need to get the show on the road. So it's not all is lost there. February 8th, Supreme Court arguments about the ballot access eligibility of Trump in Colorado and Maine and whatnot. March 4th, Jack Smith, Judge Chutkan insurrection trial date, possibly on hold, but it's scheduled for March 4th. In late March, New York District Attorney Bragg's case against Trump for paying off Stormy Daniels. Bragg has said he may move his case forward a number of weeks if there's an opening in the schedule because the Chutkan trial can't go forward. In May, Florida Judge Cannon, Jack Smith top secret documents case, criminal trial is scheduled. Late July or early August, the DOJ is likely to pause going forward against Trump as to not interfere with the 2024 election. So we've got to keep that in mind. But that doesn't stop August 2024, DA Willis asking for a start of the Georgia election interference case. However, she says she expects it to go into 2025, so it's not going to be before the election.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to let you know that that's what's going on, and as frustrating as some of that is, that's somewhat frustrating to us. That and more.
Nightmare inducing to him. Yeah.
An absolute panic to Trump. And if there's anyone at this point who deserves to be panicked about the truth and the law being administered fairly, it's Dumpy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, Raymond DePascal, Trump is a litigious nightmare. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
last I heard, someone had estimated that he has spent close to $180 million on legal fees. On the one hand, that doesn't even seem possible, but on the other hand,
I can't even wrap my head around that.
Oh, that's true, Eileen. Don't forget the case that's been put on hold for so long, having to do with the video phones that Trump was promoting. Oh yeah, there's that too.
Oh, geez.
And that's I thought that was relatively soon, but I don't know. I'm making new calendar, new monthly pages to share with everyone.
Yeah. Well, all of this sort of segs into the next question at 5225. Glenn asks, well, the Amicus Brief submitted to SCOTUS by, legitimate GOP lawyers, et cetera. And we're talking about, like the Party of Lincoln type, Lincoln Project type GOP folks, be heard by the court about Trump and the 14th Amendment claims to not be an officer or supporter of the Constitution.
Hang on. I got Kevin Waggy says January 29th on the cell phone. CC Ryder was the first to say January 29th, Trump ACN trial, the Apprentice phone fraud case. So I'll have to make a note of that.
Fabulous.
So I got slightly.
No, there was an Amicus Brief submitted to SCOTUS about how Trump basically, disputing Trump's claims that he's not a supporter or whatnot of the Constitution because he didn't make the oath. It's like, yes, you did. You made the oath.
Yeah, you did. You moron.
So, yeah. So how is that? Will the court actually listen to it? Will the court listen to the brief? I mean, it's been submitted, but will they take it up?
They've gone to the Supreme Court?
Mm-hmm.
My deck's upside down. Oh, this puts the Supreme Court in quite the pickle, doesn't it? At least the six jerks. Because, of course, they want to push their far-right thing.
Oh,
However, if you start saying that someone who takes the oath of office can get away with whatever, that it doesn't count, that it doesn't make a difference, then all of the case law goes away. And you can never use it again. They want to say, oh, no, anything that's bad for Trump, anything that's bad for our power right now is bad. But Oh, this is quite the pickle for them.
The mental gymnastics. Ooh.
Well, it's not even just the mental gymnastics, I don't think. I think it's more power.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying the mental gymnastics they're going to have to perform to be able to try to justify anything. I mean, yeah. It's
yeah. There you know, there's it has been pointed out by various people, and I have to agree, where it's like, you know, the Supreme Court justices, the 6, are a whole lot of things, but one of them is they're not actively flat out stupid.
No.
They're not IQ of, you know, 26 and change.
Right.
They have to know if Trump gets back in that all of their power goes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially if he thinks that they've wronged him in any sort of way.
Right. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they put him directly back into power?
Yeah. Like Emperor Palpatine executing Order 66. Yeah.
Yeah. Supreme Court. Gosh, the arrogance. Oh my gosh, the stench of the arrogance coming off. The arrogance, the sitting pretty, the and Trump is like, no, it's time for my ship to come in.
So he can sink it.
But they better be careful, because they need to still be standing at the end of this. So the Trump's days of they actually might. They're not going to go for him on everything. They're not going to go against him on everything, unfortunately. But
well,
do we have time for one more?
We do have time for one more at 58 even. Okay, MAGAs are losing their patience with Mike Johnson and are mad that he lied about releasing all of the January 6th footage. Will MAGA fully turn against Moses Mike? Yeah. Whew.
Yes, Valerie Sargent, Project 2025 eradicates the judiciary.
Yeah.
So, the MAGA turning against Moses Mike. What on earth, this guy? Anne says, I love when they turn on their own. I know. I'm getting some... yes, I did. I've not sent the thank you note yet, but I absolutely did. That is on my to-do list.
Lois says Moses is parting the red GOP.
Oh, that was good.
That was a good one.
That was good. And thank you.
All y'all are so sweet.
Well, they have a common enemy. The problem is that it's not going so well.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Moses Mikey, he hates everything. He's so important now. He's been chosen by God. However, once you're actually in that job, as much as you might want to let your craziness fly, you can get absolutely zero done that way. And I mean nothing.
Yeah.
you have to talk to others. You cannot single-handedly turn the United States into a Christian nationalist pit. And he's got to keep more moderate Republicans on his side too, which means he can't be as... Now, I'm glad he has not come to me for a reading, which would never happen for so many reasons. So many reasons. Because I would have to tell him that the only way you're going to keep the different factions together is the focus on your common enemy. However, he's not going to listen to that. He's not. And he's going to eventually be out on his ear, having accomplished very little. And he's going to be, oh, why have you forsaken me? Woe, woe, oh, the woe. Sorrows, prayers. Yick. And I hope I didn't come across as cold or anything about that. That I hadn't sent the thank you note yet. I do apologize for that.
Oh no, not at all.
And I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. The empath is asking, what should you read tomorrow on whether Trump gold is fake? What Trump gold? We know his cufflinks were fake that he gave to
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
They were from Harry Winston. No,
they had a Trump logo on them. They were base metal and cubic zirconia.
Yeah.
Oh. There's this, I don't know about that. Autumn Fox News had a tarot reader on this past week. It didn't go well. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sense of loss.
Oh.
And the funny thing is that reader, when she said that, she pulled the five of cups and said, "Oh, a sense of loss." See, to me, the key word for that card is disappointment. So she could have spun it. If she really wanted to, she could have spun that. Oh, disappointment. Like, oh, I would, let me see more cards to see, which side is disappointed. Or maybe we don't get everything we want or what have you. But the energy hit her and she was honest enough.
Well, I'm on Fox.
Yeah.
Can't say much. Okay. And apparently Trump is trying to shill gold over on Truth Social. I'll have to look that up for tomorrow. So I haven't seen that, but I'll look into it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and going through the news with us. Thank you. Oh, Faye says she pulled the Hierophant first. Oh, I didn't know there was more to before that.
Neither did I. That's hysterical. We'll have to pull it up at some point.
Janelle says she was nervous. Well, that makes sense. But thank you, Sarah. Thank you. All right, so Tammy Duncan's his first time catching this show live. Love you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so it is 1:12 p.m. here in Chicago and in Louisiana. And at 3 o'clock, we'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel to do creative work, and I'll be organizing my creative stuff and my life. Beastman says, I love how the Fox person said, oh my gosh, it's the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, old dude saw the card. He was like, it's the Grim Reaper.
That's not the death card. Can you imagine if he should pull the death card, considering how scary the death card looks to people who don't
Lord help.
it? Anyway, sorry. All right. At 3 o'clock, we'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. And other than that, we'll be right back here tomorrow. Even Sarah's going to be back tomorrow. So hang in there, everyone. Joyce Matthew says she pulled cards for Biden too. They didn't show those. Okay, all right. Oh, or the devil, squeezy squeeze box. Matter if she pulled the devil card.
Oh Lord help.
Oh gosh. All right.
Pandelirium.
Pandelirium.
Carolyn still had his casserole dish. Now I have to. There's an old Jeff Foxworthy skit about why during a national disaster or whatever, or whether whatever and whatnot in the South, they always choose the countryest people to put on camera. And like a tornado would have gone by, and they're not going to show anybody but like this woman with like 3 curlers in her hair. And it was Pandelirium, and all I could think was, is Carolyn still had my casserole dish. And yeah. Yeah.
See, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. This is good. This is good. Have a great day. You're not alone. We're in this together.
Yeah.
There are good days ahead, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Oh.